Despite what their moms told them, they just aren't talented enough for radio. Unfortunately, anyone can have a show these days. Sean.
Well, I'm pretty hard to figure out sometimes. In fact, I can't even figure myself out sometimes, so don't you try to.
Joe.
You're an idiot and really a disloyal person.
This is the Cuse Militia. Now, those two unapologetically biased orange-blooded homers, Sean and Joe.
It's the most bullshit thing I've seen in 30 years.
Welcome, orange men and ladies. Happy Sunday. This is the Cuse Militia with Sean and Joe for the Believe Entertainment Network. At Cuse Militia on the socials. Go there, join the militia. We're back. A little busy through the holidays. Planned on being back here last week. That didn't end up working out, so we're here now. We've missed a lot, but we haven't. So I believe we talked about Hofstra. Is that correct? So we had two games after that, Northeastern and Stonehill, which Northeast. 3, right? Well, 3. I'm sorry. Before ACC play, yes. The Northeastern, Stonehill, and Clemson. Right?
No, Mercyhurst.
Oh, Mercyhurst.
Mercyhurst,
that's
Northeastern,
right.
Stonehill.
Okay. Right.
Yes.
See, I don't even remember what teams we played. That's how long ago. Correct. Okay. So the one for me that stuck out of those, and obviously pulling out wins, but the Northeastern game was sloppy, frustrating game to watch.
A little too close for comfort on that one, eh?
Yeah, a little bit. And, Stonehill, obviously, we all found out there's a Stonehill college that plays basketball. So, I mean, it's kind of like one of those ones. Okay, well, they did what they were supposed to do. Well, I hope so.
Yeah, because they're back there. They're like, God, I don't want to say like in the 350s in the net or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
yeah. So, well, with that said, a little too close for comfort with Northeastern. Did what they should have with Stonehill and I guess Mercyhurst, too. So, that was the game right after Hofstra. So, the one I forgot. So anyways, looking at what they had to do coming into the Clemson game, free throw shooting. Okay. I don't have a montage. I do have fan feedback. We'll see if we get into it. We're kind of winging it right now. But free throw shooting, right? So Syracuse goes into Clemson and Clemson comes into Syracuse and they shoot 83% from the line all of a sudden. So just really good. Defensive consistency is something else that, just mental lapses and errors, things like that. Getting off to quicker starts is kind of one of those things. And, we saw that versus Clemson, but I don't know what you have to, I thought the Clemson game was decent. I don't know what you have to say again with everything else, Joe. Stonehill, Mercyhurst, Northeastern, and the rest of it. But, those are kind of a distant memory for me. I'm trying to focus on getting the ACC play, and I'm just looking at my notes because we were going to do a Clemson preview, and those were the things I had as they transition into conference play. And, with Donnie Freeman coming back, and he was a little bit slow to start in the first half, but, he ended up throwing down 18 in the second half and was really good. So,
right.
Got his footing underneath him. And, dude, I may be biased, but was he not getting freaking picked on or what? I mean, I felt like they were a little rough with Donnie Freeman in general.
Yeah, I mean, you just saw that when he reacted on that one play.
When he got landed on. Right? Yeah, he got landed on one play, which is accidental. But, I mean, the dude, was...
Right, but there was the one play where Donnie Freeman pushed the guy down to the ground.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Like
well, that was
like
a
frustration. Flop. Almost frustration. I mean, look, the Clemson team, they're predicated on defense. They've had a lot of really close games this year. They're a good team, but they got big guys down there. They got 2 or 3 6'10" guys down there that they got fouls to give, and they're going to be aggressive. And Godfrey is 6'7", just 220 or 40 pound beast. Looks like he could play D end or tight end in the NFL. So they kind of beat us up a little bit around the basket. I think Kyle got in foul trouble, didn't he?
He did.
So Suarez had to play a little, and that's just one thing. William Kyle, he's physical and he can get some blocks, but again, he is kind of undersized as a center. Suarez, a little skinny, a little thin. Sadiq White, a little thin. Donnie Freeman, he's physical, but it's one of those things where they beat us up down low, in my opinion, and they made everything pretty much around the basket difficult. As far as free throw shooting and defense, I think is what actually kept us in the game. Yeah. But obviously, Donnie Freeman coming out in.
I mean, it was low score. If you told me it was going to be that low scoring, I'd have said we had won.
Right? Yes, and again, it comes down to when you look at the way that they turned the ball over, like 15 turnovers. Some of them were bad, right? And that was just the one thing for me was like we just get a good defensive stop, and then JJ would throw it away, right? Or we got to stop and went down, and William Kyle got it, and it seemed like he needed to take the shot. They didn't get a lot of points. We got the same points off turnovers, and I know we had more fast break points.
Points in the paint, we got destroyed. Down low, we just got destroyed.
Right, and that's, again, even though it was 31-30 in the rebound deficit, 40. Or the rebound, we still gave up 7 offensive rebounds, and again, those total turnovers, what it does is it's just, even if they don't score off of it, it could stop our momentum on offense, right? And it's taking away another possession. So when you look at the game that's so close like that, the only, we shot better free throws and had more points from the free throw line. We had shot a better percentage from 3 points, albeit they only hit 4 of 16, but
a third of our points came from the free throw line. I mean, if you'd have told me that.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Yeah. Getting stomped, though, in the paint 46-26.
Right.
Is a difficult thing to overcome, but just to the physicality of how this team plays.
Yep.
It was a very physical game, and when things get very physical like that, and especially when the whistles are, I don't know, inconsistent, I guess, Syracuse is going to fail there. Like to your point, they're just not big enough.
Yeah. And there was you're right, and there was many opportunities. There was many calls. Again, you're not going to get every call, but there was a bunch of calls I thought where it was really like kind of obvious to me that it was our ball, got called the other way. At least it happened a couple times. I know that there was a ref that was injured, so for a little while I think they refed 2.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day too, like they shot 2 of 14 or something like that. I mean, they only had shot 2 3-pointers the whole game. And Dylan Hunter, he hits like 2 in the last 5 minutes. They were just timing.
Yeah.
Like they needed all those things to happen, plus us to bank some bad turnovers to win this game. So as good as Clemson is, it was one of those situations where I thought, like, especially with the first game in nine games since Donnie Freeman's been back, that if we take care of the ball a little bit better, just don't have those bad turnovers. If that 15 turnovers was 10 turnovers, then that's a couple, 5 different shots at least. I think that was kind of the difference in the game. They shot 11 more shots. They had 56 field goals and shot 48%, and we took 45 and shot 40.
In Syracuse too, they've been able to erase deficits. So when they go down in a game, as opposed to the last few years or numerous years, they're not out. They always have battled back every single game, even in their losses. They went Clemson went on a 10-1 run to open up the second half, I think, and it just looked awful. And they come back and they battle back at the game close, and I think they had a chance to tie it, and at the end of the game, but just a hope and a prayer from Donnie Freeman. I mean, if he hits that, not all heroes wear capes. But he wouldn't be the guy I would think would be the one with the ball there. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's realistically, again, taking care of the ball and not settling for. That was another thing I thought. And I know that there's going to be comments about the offense, so we can get into that once we hit fan feedback. But there was too many times I thought, and again, I know that Nate George has to be aggressive. I thought he should have been able to finish a little bit around the basket a little bit better. But as far as JJ and some other guys, I just think there was too many times where we settled for, a long jumper that we could have got at any time in the free throw, in the shot clock. And we took it early. And just, to me, the offense is what is holding this team back right now.
Offense?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't even been that bad, but it's inconsistent. No. Yeah, it's just inconsistent.
Well, it's you see different things because.
Well, look. How many assists did they have altogether in the Clemson game? 8. I mean, there just wasn't like a lot of rhythm. Hold on a second. Where the hell did it go?
8.
Okay, there's just not a lot of ball movement, not a lot of rhythm. And whenever Syracuse does this, and I know it doesn't work out, this hero ball stuff. And I feel like that they have the talent. If they can move the ball around a little bit better, they're going to have way more opportunities to get open shots. I feel like they take bad shots. I feel like every team takes bad shots. I mean,
of course,
Clemson wasn't great either a bunch of the time. But as you mentioned, what were they, 4-16 from 3? It's one of those things that we've noticed through the past. And when things are tight, Syracuse seems to do that. But, overall shooting 40%. I don't know, man. And then 33% from 3. It's just, I don't know. But like you mentioned, the turnovers killed them, and points in the paint killed them. And late game execution, I thought, could have been better. Did we not have a timeout or something? Did you just let them play it out? I mean, I don't understand. With the game on the line like that, why you don't draw something up or something, or just even before you bring the ball over, even if you're doing a half court inbounds, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or full court inbounds or whatever. You've got the game's on the line.
Yeah.
I don't know if I let my guys just play that out, but
I don't know if we have time out or not.
I don't know. Either. It was New Year's Eve, a freaking early game. 2:00. I missed the damn game. So I didn't get home till 4. And I guessed fan feedback. I just figured it's like 4:10, 4:15. I'm like, the game's got to be over. I'll just throw it up there. But,
it wasn't.
It wasn't over. Right. Yeah. I tried to get with you first to see if it was still going, and you weren't live. So I was like, oh, screw it. I'll just throw it out there. So anyways, and then you told me you were live, and then you confused me. So anyway, but all in all, I didn't think Syracuse played terrible in the Clemson game. They just got bullied. And they're gonna get bullied a lot if they don't figure some of it out.
Yeah.
So
you got to get stronger with the ball.
Yeah.
Finish around the rim.
Yeah. Finish around the rim. Yes. You got to, defensively, they weren't bad.
No, defensively, I thought they played good enough to win the game.
Yeah.
And free throw shooting.
I mean, look, if we can do that.
Don't expect that every game.
I know. But here's the thing. Donnie Freeman being back just threw out his couple years with Syracuse. I mean, he's a consistent free throw shooter. So He went 6 for 6, and that definitely bolstered that up. But I mean, even my guy, William Kyle, he went 2 for 4. But Nate George, 5 for 6. I mean, he's kind of struggled too this year from the line. So everybody just did a good job with that. And if you told me we were going to shoot 83% from the line, I'd have told you we won the game. So,
yeah, especially if you shot 24.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Okay, well, we can go into, let's just do some, I know this is old. People probably don't care too much. I peeked at it a couple days ago. I didn't know when we were going to get here, what the plan was going to be. Joe and I had a podcast that didn't record earlier in the week about football. It's basically a conversation. It was us talking. You're looking at me befuddled. We talked on the phone for like an hour about things. And whenever we do that, I always regret not recording it. So, anyways, it's just been busy. So we'll go over some of these. And let's see, our buddy Nadal on Twitter. Why don't we take a page out of football and hire an offensive coordinator type ex-NBA coach and let Red focus on grapefruit standard or whatever it is he wants to do, at least until this season ends. Honestly, I think most Cuse fans are a little burned out from mediocrity. Yeah, I mean, you could say that.
Yeah.
Joe, we talked about that in our conversation, actually. So look, here's the thing, man. It's tough to keep up with being excited for mediocrity, as Nadal says, right?
Yeah.
And it's very hard to stay interested. We're all busy. Joe and I have extremely busy jobs, which leads me personally at home to be busy because I work so much. So when I'm home, there's a lot to do. And to put the time and effort into analyzing and trying to remain optimistic is difficult for anybody, especially just a fan, because they don't necessarily have to. And I think that a lot of the Syracuse fans are feeling that. I thought that the 2:00 crowd was pretty good at Clemson. And, hats off to everybody who showed up for that. There was some bad weather coming or had just come, right? So, the crowds have been good, and that's awesome to see. I just want the negativity to subside. And the negativity is not going to slow down or quit or even, think about it until the team's better.
Yep. It's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah. So with that said, I mean, I don't know about you, Joe, but I deal with a ton of negativity at work every day. And in fact, parts of my day are dealing with negativity, like designated. So, to have to deal with the negativity for a sports team, it's like, come on, we have more important things to be negative about. It sucks. I get it.
I'm not going to add on to it.
Right, exactly. It's like I've already been through it. Yeah.
I'm not going to voluntarily add on to the crap that I'm worried about or stressed out about.
And so what you end up doing, kind of, if you're me, is you don't necessarily stay negative, but you don't let it bother you, and not letting it bother you, you start to just become numb to mediocrity.
Right.
I'm this. So anyways, Nadal, I get your point. Can you tell?
Yeah, Corey on Facebook, he agrees. Like I said, I might just, if you have a similar comment, I might just kind of piggyback on it. But Corey, and it's a real quick one, he just says, same shit, different year. So
yeah, it's unfortunate
you want to
too.
go back to that?
Well, I know, no, I'm done with that kind of. But I agree because
it's been the same shit.
It's been the same stuff every year, and you got to think about the team that you have this year playing on this court. It's a talented team.
Right.
The team is good. When was the last time we've had this long of a defense? When was the last time we've had this athletic of a defense?
Right.
That was never really an issue to score necessarily.
Right.
And if you keep a Clemson to, and Clemson's a good team, guys. I think Clemson is genuinely a good team.
Yeah.
And they lost to two ranked teams that are still ranked and a Georgetown team that was by 5 points.
Yeah.
So they're good.
Yeah.
You know, they beat Pitt, but that's not saying anything. I don't think.
No.
It's a little bit too close for comfort for me if I was Clemson.
Yeah. Well, and I wouldn't even go as far as saying that this team is good yet. It's just it has the pieces to be good, right? I mean, last year.
Are you talking about Syracuse? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm saying I said they have the talent.
Yeah.
They have the talent. Last year, what?
No, I was just saying last year we knew that, we were only going to be so good given what we had, right?
Right. Yeah.
But it's like to see that you actually have the talent and that there are situations. I mean, you can see this team being good. They're not there yet.
Let's see. David's got a couple comments here, and I'm trying to figure out which one came first. Okay, all right. Twitter works backwards. Why isn't Kayem not playing more than 15 minutes? Freeman rusty. I'm sure he was physically able to go to give you a little bit of playing time against Stonehill, and after some big shots throughout, camera pans the crowd, and I see crossed arms and no energy, and I can go on and on. I don't know why not to take that excitement in the last minute and give the team the energy for the other 39 minutes. Could be a difference between a win or a loss. Get rid of this BS tradition of slapping your hands together, sitting down and playing on your phone. It's infuriating. Look, don't get me started on the hand clapping thing. And you know what's more embarrassing about the hand clapping thing is when the broadcasters have to talk about it. So Joe had actually a really good actually a really good idea for football. And, we talked a lot about the other day, and this is part of why I wish it was recorded, but we talked a lot about how, you look around and just take the ACC, for example. I someday I'm going to get to Death Valley and Clemson. Someday I'm going to get there. I want to experience that. Blacksburg is amazing for people who have been there. Gio lived 4 years there. The tradition there, jingling the keys on third down, all those little things.
No, we used to do that.
Why? Well, tell me why it stopped. No one's got keys anymore? I mean, it's true. I don't carry keys.
They're all just fobs.
You can't jingle a fob. It just doesn't make enough noise. But there's tradition that is around the ACC. I mean, look at FSU, another big one, right? And I can go on. But, I think we lack that in football. And if the only thing we're going to hang on to is this clapping before each half, before Syracuse scores, if that's going to be our thing, then Joe suggested that we do it before each half of a football game and see, like, if you really are dedicated to it, if you're a stand and clap and you're dedicated to that type of nonsense, then by golly, get up and do it for football too.
Until we score the first touchdown.
Until we score, Joe. Jeez. Doesn't have to be a touchdown. But but they don't count foul shots. It's it's points from the field, right? So yeah. So I mean, maybe you got a point. I don't know. But if you're that dedicated to it, then I want to see you do it for football. I'm just saying, start a new tradition. If it's that popular and you love it so much,
and it works,
and it works, and then you sit on hands, and like David says, you just start playing on your phone. At Old Cuse, tough loss, but we can win out the rest of the way. Just like Coach Red gets replaced. Wait, hold on a second. Tough loss, but we can win out the rest of the way just as long as Coach Red gets replaced with someone who doesn't suck.
Oh, here. I was waiting for that one.
Well, I didn't proofread these, and I figured I started it, so I'll finish it. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of these. I got, another one here. At Go Cuse Go 1, same old thing to your point on that other one on Facebook. But he's going to feel the pressure soon if they don't start plucking off some wins, because right now they're 93rd in the net. They're playing a Georgia Tech team that just barely scraped by Boston College yesterday, who is 100 and...
Barely scraped by? I thought they won by like 12.
Did they? I thought that was a closer game. You tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. They won by 12. My bad.
And they gave Duke a good game before that.
They did give Duke a good game. I saw that. But
everyone gives their best. So
they are... I lost them. Where the hell? What did I say they were before the show started? Now I look like a boob.
149th.
Yeah, okay. That's why I couldn't find them. I was in the 30s. All right, yeah, they're 149th in that. We're 93rd. That's a quad. That will be a quad 3 game. So, it's a must win.
It's at Georgia Tech though, right?
I think it is. So, it's okay. It's a quad 3 game.
Still a quad 3?
Yeah. Yep. If it's away, it's 135 to 240.
Well, yeah.
So it would be, if it was a home game, it would still be a quad 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a quad 3 game.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, again, I have some. Tim, fire Autry. Jason, losing the fan base, fire Autry. Dan, Autry sucks. But then it was pretty funny. He had a little condescending comment back from Tommy that says, yeah, he's missed a lot of shots. So, I mean, yeah, you're still going to get the Autry thing. Laurie, no set offensive plays, no leader on the court. They run down and stand on offense waiting for the ball to come to them other than a pick. Woohoo, offense is awful. I mean, that's what people have been saying since Autry got the job, right?
Yeah, but I mean, this is like his first legit year. I've got those, our coach is a major issue. Offense isn't the problem. Loss. Red isn't a good head coach. Another blown opportunity. A disgrace. We suck. Fire Autry. So, clearly not enough corporate buy-in to bring the juicing stations to level 5. Basketball offense looks like football offense. Very offensive.
Yeah.
Well, so anyways, I think we get it. I don't want to beat a dead horse on a loss, but I will say that it is a blown opportunity. You can't keep losing these games because at sitting at 93 in the net, you're going to, and Clemson is 34th in the net. You're going to put yourself just little by little back just far enough to where at some point you're not going to be able to make moves. We've all seen it at this point in the game. If you're 75 or worse in the net, you have a long road to hoe. And
oh yeah,
the little wins against Wake Forest, or excuse me, Georgia Tech, or Pitt coming up, those aren't going to move the needle at all. I mean, you're going to have to pluck off some bigger wins than that. And it's just, you play UNC twice. Those are opportunities. Obviously, being ranked. Louisville's ranked. You play them once, and you play Duke once. So, and Notre Dame's pretty good.
Yeah.
But does Syracuse have enough opportunities left on the table to make a run? Now that I'm not talking about, making a run in the ACC tournament. Although I think they make the ACC tournament, so that'll be another opportunity. But just based off the net alone, this is what we have to. It's our. It's the gospel of NCAA basketball before the conference tournaments.
Right.
So, being where we're at, it makes me a little nervous. They had to not lose to Hofstra, and like you mentioned the other day, Joe, I mean, it's quite possible Hofstra at the end of the year could be a quad 2 loss, which wouldn't be as bad. But even with that said, it wasn't a make or break if that's the case. Let's put it that way. It's all these other ones that you have in front of you, the Clemsons, the Florida States, Notre Dames, even Virginia Tech looks good.
Yeah, but again, I think it's still too early to tell. We did have a difficult non-conference schedule, so I think it's too difficult to tell. I
agree, but real quick, I agree with you, but it's not really showing up in the net.
No, it's not.
So that's how I'm kind of
right.
confused by that.
Right.
You know,
because again, that's where it comes down to what's worse. You know, I mean, do you play a tough non-conference schedule, or do you? You know, we've spoken about this for years.
Yeah, it's like which way do you do it?
Right. But, you know, the years before or prior hasn't done it because we've lost to some of those games or we don't beat the teams the way that they're supposed to, right? So that's just the crux of all that. I will say there are a couple here that there's a couple different takes that I want to see, kind of get your opinion on. Ted says, Happy New Year. The offense still looks very disjointed, often failing to generate the best shot. George, in particular, is getting exposed against Power 4 teams and needs to improve his decision-making and shot selection. Defense remains the team's strength, but they continue to give up too many head-scratching three-pointers late in games. There's a lot of work to do before they can even enter the bubble conversation.
I mean, Nate George isn't, and by the way, you know, being from Wake Forest, and we're going to be playing them soon, too.
Georgia Tech.
Or Georgia Tech, sorry. I did it again. But, you know, he's got a little, I'm sure he's got a little chip on his shoulder going into that game Tuesday. So, yeah. He's doing pretty good, dude. I mean, yeah, I think we all thought he was going to be a little bit better, but he's averaging double figures in points. He leads in assists. He leads in steals.
Yeah.
I mean,
and also, that's one of I thought it was a great comment, Ted, but the one thing that I don't agree with is that, he does have turnovers, and I think that it's been sometimes he tries to be a little too flashy. That it seems like he's working on that, but
yeah, he leads the team in those too. It's true.
But to me, the biggest thing really with him is that he's being last year at Georgia Tech. I mean, like I said, he led the league in assists. He wasn't asked to score as much this year. I think that he's being asked to score more, which is why you're seeing him taking certain shots and things of that nature. So it's still a different, kind of role that he's trying to pick up, so to speak. And it's not easy with, all the changes and all the injuries. Here's another one that I find interesting. Top fan Michael says, at this point, we know what this team is, and it's not a tournament team. They may win some of the next several easier games, and they might even get lucky and beat one of the big dogs in the league on the road. But it just won't be enough to even be on the bubble. They likely finish 11th or 10th at best in the league. And Donnie was limping towards the end of the game, so he's likely done for the next 10 games or the whole season.
It's not funny.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
It's not funny. Yeah. It's not funny.
It's not.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that. So this is new to me. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did not. So it was new to me too.
Well, let's just hope that because it's another foot injury, right? I mean, that he dealt with this year. It was the same thing last year, was it not?
Yeah, but it wasn't the same injury as what they said.
Okay, but I mean, it was a foot injury.
Yep.
Yeah. So limping would indicate what? Foot injury, knee, foot. Okay. So I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Let's just hope that it was just something minor, maybe just, I don't know. But with that said, he's got to stay healthy for this team to be better. And, He's obviously an integral part of what they do. I mentioned the free throws earlier. Coincidentally, Donnie Freeman comes back. They shoot 83% from the line. I mean, what he does for this team is, as a leader and just as someone who is as talented as him, is, I don't think can be measured really. I mean, they pull off the win against Clemson. He pulls off the win against Clemson with that last shot, and that's all apparent. But I think it's still true. So
yeah,
losing him and having to go through that whole thing again would be devastating to this team. Absolutely.
Yes,
especially where they're at right now, because they're not even like, I wouldn't even say they're a totally cohesive unit. I'd say that I've definitely seen signs of that, and I've seen some really good chemistry, really good chemistry. Let me put it this way. Like, how many alley-oops have you seen the past couple years? Like, they're just banging them out. I mean,
but it's been less and less the past couple games.
It has, but we've seen it though, a lot of it. It hasn't been a lot of that flashiness the past few years.
Right.
So I do think that they have. I think they've shown signs of having the cohesiveness, and you've mentioned this plenty of times before, that when someone comes back, man, they're gonna be rusty. That first half for Donnie Freeman did not look good. Ends up with 18 points. So, he is, to say that he's needed is an understatement. So let's just hope that that's not anything serious.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's, and again, too, I think that there's got to be some, because we always talk about teams developing, getting better growth as the season goes on, right? And I think we've seen it through some individual players, but I don't know if we've seen it necessarily through the way that they share the ball and they run the offense. And, it's unfortunate because, last year, obviously we had the roster that we had, and Donnie was coming in as a, freshman, and Judah Mintz is gone. So JJ Starlin's the leader. And when we had a bunch of transfers, and if you remember, like, JJ and Donnie, they only played a couple games with each other before, JJ got hurt before that Tennessee game. And it's just weird how this stuff works, because JJ sits out a lot last year. He comes back. First game he comes back against Florida State. That was the only game for the rest of the season that he played with Donnie Freeman, because that was the last game Donnie Freeman played last year. Fast forward to this year, those two are the only two returning guys, and we're bringing in nothing but freshmen and transfers. And Binghamton game comes out, and JJ does something to his hammy first 2 minutes. So now he's out. So he sits out for the rest of the Binghamton game, Delaware State, Drexel, and he comes back the Monmouth game right before we go out to that tournament in Vegas for Thanksgiving. And up until yesterday, that was the only game that he played pretty much with Donnie Freeman this year, because after the Monmouth game, Donnie Freeman sat out the next 9 games. So it's just funny when you look at it, the two guys that you look at to be like the best players on the team and the leaders and the two returners, that they've literally played, I think, like less than 6 games together in 2 years. So when you're inserting those type of guys that are going to be, affecting the offense so much, then a lot of times you see some of that offense go. And I think that's what happened against Clemson. You saw a lot of passing around, a lot of guys taking it one-on-one. A lot of guys that they're used to getting more attempts with Donnie not there. So then when they do get the ball, they try to force it. But like I saw William Kyle a couple times do that. Sadiq White's been used to playing 20-plus minutes. He's down to 11. And when you look at it, Donnie Freeman took 11 shots, Nate George 9, JJ Starling 7. So that's 27 of the 45 shots that we took. It didn't seem like they were sharing the ball as much, and it's like the first game in the ACC, and it's like Adrian Autry's still got to figure out what his bench rotations are.
Yeah, that's that's something that need to be figured. In fact, I don't remember what game it was, but there was a broadcaster that mentioned that he needs to figure it out. And it was
and it's hard to figure it out with someone like Donnie Freeman, who's going to play 30 plus minutes and be taking more shots than anybody on your team.
Right. Yeah, well, that's why he gets paid the big bucks, man. That's why people are upset too. I mean, you got to get it figured out. I guess it's one of those things. It's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't type thing. I mean, he's not in a great spot.
No, he's not. And I think too, also you're in a situation too where unfortunately your best defensive lineup is not close to your best offensive lineup, if that makes sense. So,
right.
I mean, William Kyle, yeah, he can catch oops and stuff like that. He's a great defender, and he only had 4 rebounds the other day. But if you have him, that's very well restricted in offense. Sadiq White's starting, and he hasn't been great on offense. And Nate Kings, he's great on defense, and he was touted as a 3-point shooter coming in. But, I mean, he only took 3 shots this past game. So, then you have Betsy and Kian Anthony and Donnie Freeman coming off the bench, which, you're probably giving up a little bit of defense, but then you're doing it for offense. And how much can you do that? So I just think that it's unfortunate that, again, we had to deal with another lengthy injury with one of your better players. And now you have to try to figure out your bench rotation again. We should already had this figured out.
Yeah, I mean, we should have had it figured out. By we mean the coaches.
Yes.
Yeah, but at the same time, you mentioned the Donnie Freeman situation, and it's kind of like you're dealt with the hand that you get. And, but yeah, you should know now. And I get your point. Like, your best defensive rotation is it's not going to produce a ton of offense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a problem.
So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So you got to, obviously that makes coaching and your lineup changes and your in-game strategy, it makes it a little bit more important to make the right decisions, right?
Yeah.
So, but, and just, I got to throw it out here because our boy, top fan Dom, very positive.
Oh, okay. Well, there's one of them. Okay.
Well, so again, Dom's talked to us before, and he's talked how he's never actually been to the Dome for a basketball game, but he's been to plenty down here.
Right.
And Dom got to get up there. He said it was my first basketball game in Syracuse, and besides the score, it was amazing, unbelievably electric. Now I know why people say Syracuse is a basketball school.
Yeah, Joe and I mentioned we were talking about the Dome the other day. How much the Dome means to the tradition at Syracuse for basketball.
Yep.
Largest on-campus crowd record. They might even have the record, period. I'd have to look at that because I don't think there's another facility that.
I thought they did last time. I know that Rupp Arena, like Kentucky's close, and usually it's between us and Kentucky for leading the attendance for the season.
Oh, that's true. But I'm talking single game.
Oh yeah, single. But I don't.
Yeah, but you're right. It is between us and Kentucky, and they've got a hell of a facility too. But what the Dome brings is the noise and the availability of filling seats. What the Dome lacks is a more intimate facility. Meaning, like, if they could just hold 15 to 20 and make this thing like a Coliseum, boy, it's over. It doesn't even it won't come close.
Yep.
What's Cameron Indoor holding? 8,500 or something like that?
Something really small. Yeah,
it's not a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's intimate though. It's nice. If you could double that and do something like that for Syracuse, you'd fill the seats and you'd be able to create something that on its own would be deafening. I mean, you could architect it to be such. So,
I mean, dude, you're talking about what? I mean, a 2 p.m. game on New Year's Day during a blizzard, and we still got 16.
yeah.
16 and a quarter.
And it was
you know?
loud. They were loud.
And it was loud, and it can get loud, but at the same time, you know just as well as me.
It gets very quiet too at times.
Yes. And that's And that's what I was going to say to Dom. I'm like, Dom was impressed with that. Like, yeah, it got electric. It was a close game, and I'm sure that he saw how loud it can get. Well, I mean, I've been there for a couple 30,000 plus games. And you want to talk about, I mean, the time where I don't know exactly what year it was, but it was against Notre Dame, and there was 30,000. I might have been GMAC's last game. I don't even know. But talk about it. I mean, those type of it's just crazy. I just got chills thinking about it. But, like, I did have this conversation at work with a Duke fan, too. And I tried to explain to him. Because the dome can be an advantage in basketball, but it can be a disadvantage as well.
Yeah.
You got, like Duke, you said, is very intimate. Players are right there on the court. Mm-hmm. They're loud. They have their cheers. They have their, you know what I mean?
Their student section, too, is formulated like lengthwise across the court instead of shoving them at one end.
Right. And the whole thing with them, too, is and this is the one thing that I always try to say, like, every year we have these issues with some of these non-conference teams during the time where the students are off.
Gone. Yeah.
Right. And then you have weather and holidays and everything like that. And I'm sorry, but to me, like, it's not a home court advantage. You know, you're bringing in a team like a Hofstra where this is like their best team. This is like their national championship until they, get to the conference championship.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there and we're playing in front of 12, 14,000. And if we're not playing good, you know how quiet it can be. So, I mean, I don't know, dude. It's just, it can be a disadvantage. Cameron Indoor, guess what? Students leave during holidays. Now you got people from the community that never thought they'd have a chance to go see a game can actually go see a game, and they still sell out. And then they never know when they're going to be able to go to another one. So they get loud. They do the whole thing. So, I mean, every game with some of like Duke and something like that, every game, no matter if students are there or not, you get your full home field advantage.
Yeah, this is a conversation we had years ago, and it's never going to happen. But it would behoove Syracuse to do it. And finding, like, with NIL and everything, the funds that Syracuse has or doesn't have after running off one of their biggest donors is lacking, and it's not enough for two major programs, in my opinion. It's just, something like an investment in another facility for basketball would be.
Is Manley Fieldhouse still there?
Yeah, it's there. They practice. Football practice is there.
I mean, soup up the Manley Fieldhouse and
give it a little facelift.
And guess what? For the games that the games where the students aren't there, or non-conference, play your non-conference there.
That's a great idea. It's probably a little dated.
I mean, it could be, but again, Manley Field. What does it say? Manley Fieldhouse at Syracuse University, primarily an indoor practice facility now, had a seating capacity around 9,500.
That's pretty. I mean, that's kind of what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Soup it up, and then guess what? When it comes to the at least the non-conference games when the students aren't there, now you want to go to a game, no excuse. 95, it's going to get filled up.
Yeah, it will too. I mean, tickets will be hard to find because that'll be exciting for the first go of it too. Think about that.
I mean, how many people have tickets and they sit there and they hem and haw because they don't know if they want to go to the game because of the situation and how good they are, the weather, or
Yeah.
Sell those differently. Everyone's not going to get them.
We should have them put on uniforms too that match. What is it, mid 80s? Was it mid? When did it shut down? 80?
No.
Was it? It wasn't in the 90s, was it?
No, I think it was in the 80s. I want to say.
Oh, we all remember it was the Georgetown game, but I don't remember what year it was either. But them shorts, bro. Let's bring them shorts back.
No, we don't need to do that.
But yeah, I mean, 9,500 is good. I still think the sweet spot for Syracuse, because we can sell the tickets, is, you know, somewhere between 16 and 20, something like that. 16 on the low end, 20 on the high end. And you could, you know, do this Manly Fieldhouse thing temporarily very easily. Well, maybe not very easily, but you could do it. Because when Syracuse football, I know when they go to play somewhere cold, they don't practice indoors. They practice out there. So, if I remember right. But, yeah, I mean, there's got to be a reason why it's not been done. You know, it's above my pay grade, and I don't know all the ins and outs of it. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's probably out of code for sure. But at the end of the day, it would create a lot of excitement around the program, and not just for, you know, a temporary bump. I think it would be something that would be traditionally, it would make this program better.
We need something.
You need something when you ain't got the money, because where's it going? You're either gonna have mediocre teams on both sides, or you're gonna have to figure something out. I mean, after running one of your biggest donors off, and ain't seen that dude at a basketball game in 3 years, so you got to do something creative. They've jacked it all up, and the day and age we're in, it's not getting better.
No, but, you know, at the end of the day, too, I mean, we can talk about that all we want, but winning solves everything.
You're absolutely right, but
I don't think spending the money to, again, I agree with that in the football aspect, you know, because that's almost like a down south. Saturday football is like a damn, every week it's a holiday, right?
Sure,
and
that's my
like
point.
It's an all day thing.
That's
right?
what I'm talking about with Clemson and FSU. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So I can see it as far as like a football situation, you know, do something to improve the game day, just overall experience for the fans, right? But as far as basketball goes, we just need to win. We win, then we fill that dome. We win, we get 25,000 a night. It just is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, what comes first? You know,
in this situation, it's winning.
Yeah. Well, this situation, it is winning, right? Because I totally agree with you. Because
when it comes to basketball, they'll show up.
For this situation, it's winning. You're right. With this team, it is winning, and I think they have the team to win. They just got to they got to figure it out. It's always like this too little, too late thing. And we talk a lot about in the beginning of the year, seeing the growth. And I know I mentioned it about how I think that this year is going to be different. And, you know, I hope I'm right. But
yeah,
as I mentioned, as far as the net goes, they've got a long way to go. And there's not a ton of opportunities on the schedule to get there. I mean, there are opportunities. There's opportunities, dude. And I mean, don't get me wrong.
We have a lot of quad one opportunities on the road.
We have, wait, hold on one second. Let me pull it back up. I lost it.
I mean, we played Duke on the road, North Carolina on the road, Louisville on the road. I think SMU, who just beat North Carolina yesterday.
Louisville is on the road. Yeah, without a doubt. There's opportunity. There definitely is. And I mean,
there's definitely opportunities for sure.
But you have to play the odds too, though. You know, they're not if they win all the ones we're talking about, then okay, yeah. But you know, they're not gonna win all those. You know,
see, I think sometimes too. I think it's and I would, again, the amount of time I'd have to spend to deep dive into this, but like losing like we played those three teams, Houston, Kansas, and Iowa State. They're all going to be quad one losses. And people can argue as to how close that we played them and everything, but did us losing 3 games in a row, did that kill us in the net? You know what I'm saying? Like, from what I understand, I don't even remember seeing the net out until we got to a certain amount of points. But I don't know where it comes from. There's no rhyme or reason, right?
Well, this year they held it until right before conference play. They waited. It seems like they waited for all of the tournaments to finish up.
Right. But to me, if you realistically look at that whole resume, when you look to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the first 8, 9 games when we were 6-3, like if you were to start it off after the first 9 games, you lose to Houston, Kansas, and Iowa State all on, neutral courts, and then you beat a Tennessee at home, who was 13th, and you won the first 4 games you were supposed to win, 3 of them by almost 30 points. So, like, after those 9 games, if you started everyone from square one, then we wouldn't be, and that's not a 70s net ranking. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how we are that far off or far down. I don't understand how when we played Hofstra, we were in the 70s, 73.
We started this year where? Was it 60-something?
I don't know.
We looked at it. You don't remember? I felt like it was 60-something, but I could be wrong. The problem with the net is that your rewards aren't as great as your loss, or your wins don't mean as much as your losses, I should say. And teams that are always good preseason ranked, it'd be hard for a team that is really good that isn't preseason ranked. They'd have to prove themselves, throughout the non-conference and the conference play. But where you start is a big deal. So as we discussed before, do you play teams that are going to be challenges and hope that you get 1 or 2 of them? Or do you play teams that are just going to be scrubs and just hope you blow them all out? Because it's 6 in one, half a dozen in the other. It's just your plan has to work out. You don't have to play teams that are really good to make your schedule difficult. Although I think it's better. But if you play scrubs and you just blow them out, you get rewarded for those too, just as much.
Right.
But if you're playing scrubs and you win them all and they're close, it's not going to do you any good at all. Just like as if you play teams that are really good and you get your ass handed to you every single time, that's not going to help. But the closer you play those good teams, which is what we did in that tournament, like to your point, you feel like we should be we should have been at Hofstra, we should have been a little bit higher than that.
Right. And when you look at it too, do you put into effect or account who you were losing or who you were missing?
No, they don't. They don't do that.
And realistically too, so we're 9-5. We're 93rd in the net. We started 60, right? Now, if I were to ask,
is that where we started?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was in the 60s. I can't remember. Go on.
But all I'm saying is that, so, okay, let's just say we started in the 70th. Okay, let's just say we were there. And now we're 93. Does that Hofstra game push us back 23 spots?
Shouldn't, no.
Because if you take Hofstra off the table and you look at our losses, let's just say we take back that Hofstra game, and again, this is obviously just us playing devil's advocate, but you're 10-4, and your only losses are to Kansas, Iowa State, Houston, and Clemson, and you have a quad 1 win against Tennessee. Like, to me, you're firmly on the bubble. We need to see where this team is going, and it's just hard for me to believe that just one loss by 1 point is just going to do you in like that. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, this is what I'm getting. This is Gemini when I Google. I'm totally wrong. So, The first net rankings of the 2025-2026 season placed the men's team around 90 overall and 14th in the ACC, though some reports have the team as high as 90 or 96 in the net, which is an improvement from previous seasons, which are much lower, around 177. So we're just hanging where we're at, I guess.
But why is it 90?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. It's making our porn even more, questionable. Like, why were they around 90? I thought I remembered seeing it and it was better. I mean, this is Gemini, dude. I don't know. But, so it says, according to this, it says Syracuse men's basketball started 2025-26 season in the initial net ranking of number 90 overall. They were ranked 14th among ACC teams at the time the first rankings were released on Monday, December 1st, 2025. That sounds about right on the date.
Yeah. Well, I think that this is really, hopefully the net will work itself out, because even looking at it now, I can kind of see where possibly when you look at basically quad 1 through quad 3, we only have one win. So we're 1-5. We're 1-3 quad 1, 0-1 quad 2, 0-1 quad 3, 8-0 quad 4.
So around December 10th, they improved up to 75th.
December 10th?
Yes. According to this, after they beat Tennessee, they got up to 75th. And around the 19th, they dropped to 96.
Around the 19th.
By the end of, look that up. By the end of December, early January, they were 89th. That was going into the game against Clemson. So after Clemson, they dropped 4 spots. So that Tennessee win, or that tournament, coupled with that later win, did boost them up 15 points or 15 spots.
Right.
Until a Hofstra loss pushed them back. And then some other scrub wins helped them out a little bit, right? Because I guess maybe Stonehill, when you wax a team like that helps.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm coming up with.
Yeah, but I guess my thing is, I guess it doesn't help when you have, I mean, what does it need to be like a quad 3, like home game?
A quad 3 home game is 76 to 160 in the net.
160?
Yeah, it's from 76 to 160.
Okay, yeah. See, I think that's also the other issue that we have. So we have Drexel, a team that usually is a little bit higher, is at 299. So Drexel, I don't think we were looking at to be a quad 4 game whatsoever. Currently, Hofstra right now is 88th.
So it's a quad 3.
So that's a quad 3. Could move up to a quad 2, which would help.
It would be, they'd have to get to 75. If they can get better than 75th in the net, that would become a quad 2 game.
Right. And then I think teams like Northeastern is 223. So if they could get up there, that would be another quad 3. I mean, but what we don't want, because what it looks like right now is we had one big game against Tennessee, and then all our other wins, 8 out of our 9 wins, were quad 4 games. And St. Joseph's right now in the A10 is 244. So, I mean, I don't think that we were thinking that all those teams were going to end up being quad 4 wins. Yeah. So right now, I mean, it looks bad on the resume. You know, if you look at our resume, it looks bad because 1-3, that Tennessee win, and obviously no one's going to remember by the end of the year how close we played Houston and Kansas in that tournament. So the quad 1 record doesn't look bad. Quad 2 being 0-1, not awful. Quad 3 being 0-1 is bad.
Bad.
And then obviously
that's the Hofstra loss.
That's the Hofstra loss. And then you obviously, it's also not a good look when 8 out of your 9 wins are quad 4 games. So I can see why we might be where we're at right now.
Yeah.
But all it takes is some of those teams to move.
Well, that's the thing. This thing's fluid. So after every game is played, one game can be played, and a domino effect of changes on this thing happen because if those games affect everybody, those teams have already played. Right. And however the algorithm is to math it out. But yeah. So I mean, it's fun to play with, but at the end of the day, many of these teams that are in a bad spot right now, their own fate is in their hands. You can't rely on a Hofstra banging it out and becoming a quad 2 win, or a quad 2 loss.
That's
right?
Partly on us.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
The better that we move up, the better it looks like for them.
Well, yeah, that's true too. But at the end of the day, your fate is in your own hands. Every single one of these teams that's in a bad spot right now, you win, it's going to help you. So obviously it helps to have a Hofstra, get better and get their net up to, above 75 would be great.
Yeah.
Because that is not a, you don't want any quad 3 losses. They're sketchy because they could so easily become a quad 4 loss.
Yeah.
Especially the home ones, right? So if Hofstra doesn't do good and they end up, which they haven't lost since they're going
to be okay.
The game before they beat Pitt. Yeah. They're like on an 8-game win streak right now. Yeah. So they're not doing too bad. But anyway, yeah, it's a funny thing, and I like it. I still do. I mean, it still pisses me off that I don't understand it, but I think it's the best gauge that we have to go off of. And if we started at 90 and we moved up to 75th, and we're back to 93, that makes a whole lot of sense. And really, it makes more sense than what we're giving it credit for, really, than what I'm giving it credit for, because where we were predicted, I thought we were better, right? So yeah. So and then now we've dropped a couple bad ones, and it kind of makes sense. So to your point, yeah, I agree. But it's hard to move up.
It's hard to move up, and honestly, there's also flaws of like who the team was, right? I mean, you got to put injuries into account and things of that nature. Like I said before, if Tennessee ends up losing a guy and then they go on a bad losing streak and they end up turning into like a quad 2 or a quad 3 game, which is probably highly unlikely, but I mean, that's going to affect our net. And they're not going to look at it and say, well, Tennessee was a quad 1 team when we beat them. You know what I mean? That's kind of the concept that I don't like about it, is that it's all fluid. So you could beat a team that's a quad 1 today, and by the end of the year, they could be a quad 3 and be negative towards your resume. And that's the stuff that kind of gets me. But with that said, man, like these next 4 games, dude, even though 3 of them are on the road, at Georgia Tech, at Pitt, Florida State at home, and at Boston College, I mean, taking away us, basically those are the next 4 bottom feeders in the ACC. Yeah. So if you're looking at the 4 worst teams in the ACC, as far as right now goes,
Pittsburgh's 112th, Florida State's 113th. We mentioned Georgia Tech is 149th, and then
Boston College is 190.
Just lost one, so okay, they're 90. That's the
no,
they're not 90.
They're 190.
190.
Yeah.
Golly, they suck. Boston College sucks.
So, I mean, when it comes down to these next 4 games, I mean, it's going to tell a lot, and it's going to be difficult because you have this Georgia Tech team that everyone gets Duke's best shot, or everyone gives Duke their best shot. But, we're going to Georgia Tech where Nate George and Soiree played last year. They transferred from there. So there's going to be a little homecoming there, and I'm sure that's going to be
Nate George, one of their better players last year, too.
Yeah. So I'm sure that's going to be a grinded out game. But again, we got to win that game. These are games that we have to win now. We put ourselves in a position to where later in the year is when we get our quad one opportunities. But right now, we need to kind of get in a rhythm and to go on the road at Georgia Tech with that homecoming game with Nate George and Suarez, and then to go on the road to the Zoo, which obviously, that's a rivalry of Pittsburgh. Those are going to be the two games next Tuesday and the next Saturday hopefully before the next podcast. And I mean, we'll be able to come back and revisit and see, if we can get a couple wins on the road, what that does to the net. Maybe it'll make a little bit more sense to us, the movement. But we need to win. We need to win those games, dude.
Yeah, I mean, Virginia Tech up there in the 50s. Just saw them when we were looking around. So that's the fifth game. But
yeah, thank God that's home, right? So I mean, then
right,
you start
57.
getting into the middle, because it's kind of, as you can see, it's like a ramp up of like, okay, we're playing the bottom feeders, and then we get to play Virginia Tech and Miami at home, which they're kind of in
Miami's
the middle.
37th. Hold on. Yeah, 37th.
Yeah, see, Miami's
and NC State. I mean, they're good too.
They're good, but I mean, at NC State, it's not going to be easy either. But I think that they're good because I think they were preseason ranked a little bit high, and they've had some losses. When you look at they're 10-5,
38th, right behind Miami.
But they're up there in the net because where they started, right?
Right.
And then obviously Notre Dame kind of in the middle of the pack at home. That would be the next four after that as far as that block goes. So I mean, these next 8 games are crucial and critical as far as if we're going to want a shot. Because after that, then it goes into the depths of at Virginia, at North Carolina, California, who's only got 2 losses, and that's Chris Bell's team, SMU, at Duke, North Carolina, at Wake Forest, at Louisville. Like, it's not getting any easier after these next, 8 games. And if you can turn around and pull out a 6-2 record, move up a little bit in the rank, and get to a 15-7 or something, like, you got to set goals. But I mean, this is one game at a time, I guess, at this point, if you want to go and take Fran Brown's way of talking about it. But yeah,
let's focus on the next 4, and then we'll get through it. All of these on the ACC network, all the way up to Miami, too.
Yeah, if we don't get the next 4. Not to say it's over mathematically, but it's not going to be It's not going to be a good look.
To use your philosophy, it ain't over until the tournament, but you got to get in it. So one team ain't going to make it.
Yeah,
you don't want to be that team like we were last year. Or no, we just barely made it in. We made it. Yeah. We were second to last year. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I mean, man.
If we can't finish ahead of Boston College this year, then there's going to be a problem.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Of course, there's a chance. I'm just mad. I'm just mad we're only playing Boston College once this year.
Yeah. Well, be careful for what you wish for. So, yeah, we need those other ones. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You got to pull them off, though. So everybody knows the name of the game. Okay, we're gonna have to sit here and continue. But Syracuse will play at Georgia Tech Tuesday at 7:00. And, we'll be in more of a regimented kind of routine come next weekend. So the holidays were just
crazy.
Although they were they just swept through for me, just like in the blink of an eye. There was just so much going on that it just made things difficult. And then fatigue, man. I mean, it takes energy to come in here and do this. Believe it or not. So it takes energy, and we've got to be able to be Joe and I got to be on the same page. We've got to our schedules got to line up, which most of the time they do. But like I said, with everything going on, it was tough. So we'll be back. We'll try to be back here every weekend at the very least, and get back into the routine of things. So look, we appreciate all of you for joining us and taking time out of your day to listen, if you still are. It means a ton to us. Sorry about the long break, but we're back. Finish out this basketball season. We'll see what happens after Georgia Tech and Pitt. We'll talk to you then. For Joe, Sean, we're out.
Peace.